Usually we are nominated for like 3, 4, 5 Augies and have consistently not taken one home. So last year I was like, screw it, I'm not going to go to the event anymore. And Trevor, right there, he got to go last year. And so he picked up the Augie. The one year I didn't go, we won one. That was for the American Heart Association VR experience, which is currently on the Meta Store. We're really thrilled we got it. So, you know, keep trying, you're going to win eventually. So what do we do as a studio? So a little background on us. We do not traditionally build content and sell content on the stores. We've always come from an entertainment and advertising background. So we develop apps and experiences using emerging technologies for brands. A lot of them happen to be at like these big events, Comic-Cons, Super Bowls, things like that, where a brand is trying to stand out and break out of the crowd, the noise, and they want to do something really cool. We work in technology, we're always doing something new. They always like something never been done before. So quite a bit of our work is in this branded engagement space. We do a lot of on-site retail, which I'm going to talk a little bit about. And then XR, AR, VR, MR, all the Rs. Again, we've been doing it from very beginning. We shot the very first car commercial in VR. We did the first multiplayer experience on the HTC Vive at a US tennis event. So we've been doing it for a long time. We still do quite a bit of extended reality content, but I'm not going to talk about any headset stuff. We're going to really talk about what's been going on in the space around AI. AI is a tool. It's not a replacement for human beings. So we've been working with machine learning and all the technologies that we've been doing for 10 years. And when AI really kind of reared its head, at least on everybody's feeds, it was like, oh my God, the world's going to change. What are we going to do? And especially artists and advertising groups and marketers are like, what the heck is this? It's going to take away jobs and all that. And we've never really thought about it. We immediately leaned deeper into all these new tool sets that were coming out because we've always been involved with technology. We always thought it was a tool. So we felt that just like artists who used Adobe Photoshop way back when you have professional grade people or artists that are using a really good tool, they should and could be able to do better work. And that's how we looked at AI. So we always looked at it as it's enabling us to do amazing things, but really a lot of it is around personalized branded experiences, things that normally would have blown the budget because we've got to create so much content or build some unique technology to create a personalized experience. Now it's enabling us to do it at an incredibly rapid pace. So one thing that has shifted is the use of AR filters to AI experiences. Are there any AR developers in here? From Snap to Meta to Eighth Wall to any of that stuff? There's been a big shift of brands who used to love AR quite a bit, using AR for Snap lenses or face filters or anything like that. Well, especially with Facebook and Instagram dropping it, there's been a big shift around this. Brands that want to engage with their customers using some unique content. So what I'll do is I'll talk a little bit about Keebler. Keebler was one of the first brands that decided to work with AI when it first broke. Literally, it was within 1 month. Coke, Keebler, Heinz, they all launched campaigns that were powered by AI. So this was one of the very first ones that was using generative AI with photographs, people's faces. And so this is an online experience. It is a retail experience. It is an on-pack experience, meaning that the QR codes are either going to be on a shelf or on a package, and they want to engage with their audience. So this was around the Fudge Stripes cookies. They wanted to create a selfie studio with the emphasis on elf. So Ernie, Keebler Elf, iconic character, everybody knows him. So we had to train our LLM on Ernie. And so what we did was we devoured as many images that we could around the Keebler Elf, which there was a lot of weird branding differences over the decades, and we kind of settled it on the later ones. But the other part of this was understanding the world in which Ernie lives in. So the backgrounds, the treehouse. So this is a web-based experience. I scan a QR code, I upload an image, and then it turns me into a Keebler Elf. And it does that inline as on a web browser while you're doing it, and then you can download that. And what we've done too, a lot of this is based on some technology that we built. The key things around it were the pricking of the ears, any facial hair, headwear all had to look like an elf. If you had jewelry, how do we make that like an elfish type of jewelry? And also, maybe we lost 10 pounds. Maybe we beautified you just a little bit. So this was all about creating you, turning you into an elf. The other side was training the world. So the system would look to whether or not you uploaded a photo if you were inside or outside. If you were outside, we would put the background within the iconic Keebler tree. If you were inside, we would put you inside of the tree. So that was part of the logic around it. So originally, we were uploading 2 or 3 photos to do this. Everything's changing so radically. I mean, now we're doing it with 1 image, which is really great. This is my daughter who interned with us that summer, so it's really awesome she's in some of our work. Other key thing around this was we wanted to make sure the people who that were generating, that it looks like them, it has their skin tone, it has their eye color, it looks like them, it doesn't do any weird hallucinating. Also, you'll notice a baby, it didn't matter what age you were. That's been a huge hit with Keebler. We've done a couple different updates to that. They've done a spring release, they've done a fall release. So modifying and updating, and it's still on their site right now. As far as like on-site activities, same thing. Photo booths, AI photo booths. I believe Snap had a photo booth out there yesterday. This is with Oracle. So Oracle wants to have a piece that will engage with their customers. So they do CloudWorld, which is a big event where all their customers and all their partners come in. And what they wanted to do is have anybody can be a part of the Oracle sports teams that they are associated with. So that would be Oracle Red Bull or USA Cricket or SailGP or Premier League. And it is a photo booth that they will pop up, and it basically shows up at every single event. And when you walk up, you are basically just giving your email address. We take a photo, we put you in the winning circle. You don't get to choose which team you're going to be on. So what we found is that everybody who does it, they'll do it multiple times. So it's like one of the most popular activities at their events. The other crazy thing about it is, well, not the crazy, but the very important thing was the photos had to be meticulously curated, the composition, the style, no hallucinations. They had to be on brand. So I'm showing these photos to show you how we were able to tighten everything up and create something that is unique and special and personalized, but doesn't go off the rails. And you'll notice that everybody's face looks like them, from pose positions, from the sailing. So everything had like multiple different versions around it. Extremely popular, super simple. Within a minute, they get their image. A lot of this is done. You know, we're actually using another web browser through this, but everybody thinks it's an app. But it truly is just a kiosk. And we've done larger ones, we've done some other camera setups. But I think everybody kind of likes the surprise and delight because of the personalization. And then the other key thing right now is then, you know, after the first or second one, we're now animating it. And so it's kind of the plus up, and then, you know, everything's radically changing now. Now we're doing much more deeper animated videos of people with just capturing their face. The other thing I want to talk about was not just generative media, was the idea of using data as part of the program. So this is for a program with Invesco QQQ. They are a national sponsor in NCAA sports programs, specifically around the Final Four. So if you go to the men's or women's championships, they will have a huge presence there. And they're usually set up with a giant activation at the Fan Fest. And this is how they engage with customers out there. This is like a big bang one. And the key thing around this is they are a technology finance company. So they're always looking for something that's new and unique and different and not a traditional pop-a-shot game at a basketball tournament. So within this, the creative concept was when people enter their space, their footprint, and they are on a basketball court within this space, they want them to feel like they are against the opposing team, on the free throw line, about to make a shot, so this giant taunt wall, right? But the key thing around this is, and notice taunt walls have giant heads and they're all getting angry at you and yelling at you and trying to distract you. We built this in a volume. So it's a volumetric stage, which is basically, it is kind of like VR without a headset, or it's kind of like a dome, but it's using LED walls. For these cubes that we're doing, we've got 130 displays. So at each locations, the men's and women's, we build these giant, they're like 10 feet by 10 feet or 12 feet by 12 feet, volumetric stages. We're running a game engine across all three walls, so it feels like you're walking onto a basketball court. The other key thing around this is we've got cameras, so we're using a lot of computer vision to track the user, track the ball, track their position, track whether or not the ball goes into the basket. So we don't have any human beings running the experience. It's all done through computer vision. You'll notice too down here, as you are moving around the court, the audience reacts to you. So you're surrounded by the opposing team, and because we're inside of a game engine, they're reacting to you. They're yelling your name. They're making fun of you. They're trying to distract you because during the registration process, you register because you're going to get a social share video out of it. So we now know your name. We know where you're from. And when you pick your game to play, we then set up the game to queue up. So the announcer, which is all powered by AI, so it's an AI voice, will taunt you and make fun of you and talk bad about the shot you just did if you didn't make it. So this is a good size of the footprint. The other key thing, so this is the second year we've done this, was the addition of this scoreboard system. The scorecard system. And basically, we are tracking the velocity of the ball, the trajectory of the ball, your position on the court. And so you'll notice it's also being reflected inside of the court. So it's almost like, they keep calling it AR, but it's not AR. But they were wanting to, like, how do we envision lines showing where the ball is? Well, we have to display it on these LED walls. But again, all this is being done through computer vision. And then everybody gets a stat card of where they were on the court when they hit a shot, their performance record, this is all lorem ipsum, but this would be like commentary that is talking about how you did in the game as well. And every person gets one of these at the end of the game. Peter did not play every single game. This is just a graphic of all the cards. But when you are in line, you upload your photo. And that same photo, we dynamically extract your head. And then that's what the fans are holding up, the big head fan photos that are in the background. Kenny Smith, who's an announcer on CBS, came out the night before the opening. Was it the night before the opening? Probably the night before the opening. And they shot a commercial on it. And so that commercial then played on the CBS broadcast of the men's game. I'll play you a quick video. So what you're going to see here, what you're going to hear is the AI voice, how it reacts to Kenny's plays, how it says his name, how it talks bad about him, and it will also talk about his performance on the court, which you couldn't do a couple years ago. Synthesizing voice, personalizing the voice, it's just something we couldn't do a few years ago.
I wasn't able to win a national championship.
Can I get some audio on that?
Today I'm gonna get that W here at Innovation Arena. Shoot or shoot, so I like my chances.
Here's a basketball analyst best known for not running through the tape.
Oh!
Kenny, the Jet Smith.
That was cold.
Are you shooting or building a brick wall?
Oh, yeah.
You'll notice
Heating up.
jab
that's
at
just
him.
friction from his
So
knees
slow.
rubbing.
Friction for my knees.
It's a master class in mediocrity.
Yes, indeed.
Got to bring your A game into the innovation arena.
That was my A game. 3, 2, 1.
Looks like another participation trophy for the shooter from NYC.
Oh, whatever.
Innovation Arena claims another victim.
Second. Wait a minute. Who's Doug? Man, Innovation
Doug
Arena is a
right there,
tough crowd,
Doug's
but it
right
was a lot of
there.
fun.
He's in the
And with
back row.
Invesco QQQ,
Doug was
you can
on
access
site
the power of
testing with
innovation
us,
anytime.
And he actually shot better than Kenny Smith when they shot the commercial, so pretty fun. But it kind of gives you an idea of how creating an interactive digital experience is being personalized, showing some advanced methods that we're showing, like how to change it up and not just having like your total score. So the key thing around this, at least for this session, it's a short session, we're using AI to rapidly prototype, rapidly design, and use it as part of our production pipeline. Personalization side of it is a huge, huge changer that's going to be going on across digital experiences that you're going to see rolling out. Real-time conversation and understanding. I didn't show anything with that, but the speaker before me was showing a little bit of chat that's going on. We did a really cool thing with Warner Brothers Discovery, where you get to talk to Shaggy and Scooby in real time, and they speak to you. Real-time conversations, voice synthesis, and lip syncing is going to be a huge, huge thing moving forward. And then the other thing around here, micro teams and increased productivity. When we do a production, something that could take a company 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 months, we're doing it in 8 and 10 and 12 weeks. So we're able to do these big type of digital experiences in much smaller time frames because of the tool sets that we're developing ourselves that are out there right now. And I'll pause. Got 2 or 3 minutes left. If there's any questions, I'll answer questions. Yes, sir. Yeah, you in the blue.
Fantastic demo. Thanks very much. I'm really curious, when you were talking about training, for example, the Keebler selfies, you wanted to have an algorithm that would basically preserve certain things, not hallucinate, et cetera, et cetera. How did you train the AI to get what you wanted? Was it more through like just giving it different prompts, or kind of taking, selecting the images that you liked and tossing out the ones you didn't and repeat? Like, what was that process
That's
like?
a fantastic question. Let's ask one of our chief creative technologists in the crowd right there. You want to answer that, Doug?
It's not so weird.
Doug's going to be talking tomorrow about really the visual effects and part of our pipeline.
Yeah, come on tomorrow because we're going to be talking a lot about that. So that was a custom, what's called a LoRa. So you take a really large data set of images that are approved by brand, and you create this fine-tuned data set for then the generative AI that's based on the image to then exactly recreate based on, because that's all it knows. It just knows those images. So it's trying to fill in the gaps based on that. And then we go in and then we use some traditional techniques, like from visual effects, of masking, in-painting, things like that to keep all the text exactly how it should be.
That was specifically with Oracle.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
And each one of these experiences we're building on top of. So the advances from Elf Studio then go to Oracle and go, and you're going to see that happening more and more as the space rapidly grows. So hope I answered
So
your
a
question.
simple answer to probably a very complex question, but it is totally doable. And there are ethical ways of doing this. There are legal, every brand has different legal requirements. And so we're able to do private models. We're able to keep stuff that is not being pushed to a cloud service through another SDK that they're then going to store the images. So there are a lot of different options out there, and some of them aren't really apparent. You just have to be digging into it and understanding what's going on with the data, where the data is going, where it's being stored, and then apply like an ethical eye to it, and that's what you can take to your brand partners. Any other questions? You guys are so amazed, or it's the end of the day. All righty. Well, we'll be around the rest of the afternoon, and we'll be around all day tomorrow. We're a really friendly group. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions. You can go to groovejones.com. You can scan the QR code. We are part of the community. We finally won a freaking Augie, and now we feel like we're part of the cool kids club. But feel free to ask any questions. We like to be part of it and help everybody else out. Cool? Thank you, everybody.